everybody. Welcome to the Whiskey Weigh-In podcast. We're just two beards, 2 glasses of whiskey, and have a little bit of time to weigh in.
Ooh, I like it. I do like it. Do you want to give the appropriate shout out for that?
Yeah. So we're going to shout out his girlfriend, Devin, because they did not like a whole lot of fun as part of our intro. So
I still like it.
Now we're saying it's time to weigh in and play on words because that's our title. Whiskey
like
Weigh-In, where we weigh in with our opinions.
Well, what are you sipping on right there?
This is actually Elijah Craig. I've never had it before, but it was recommended by my friend Josh with Breakpoint Media, by the way. He said I went overkill with that shout out last week. But
so you're liking that Elijah Craig?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's like smooth at first, and then it has a little bit of a bite.
What do you kind of compare that to, like taste wise?
It reminds me of a little bit of. It does remind me of Woodford. I mean, I could be way off there, but just off the top of my head, that's what popped in my mind.
Is Woodford? I'm going to try that next once I finish this.
Yeah, sounds good.
I brought the bird dog over. I'm doing the strawberry right now.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they say it's 94 proof and the father of bourbon. Small batches of balance and smoothness. So, I like it. I think it's a good label.
How much is it?
That bottle was the smaller bottle, and it was $31.99.
It's about average, really.
Yeah,
it's about. I mean, that's what you're going anywhere. 25 to 35. I feel is about what you're going to pay.
Right.
So that's pretty average.
Sorry, I'm full with the mic here. But yeah, man. So we're coming off of a really exciting weekend, and we also have a lot to be excited about moving forward with some recent announcements. So. Let's do a cheers and then get into the fights.
All right. What do you want to cheers?
I think we should cheers DC losing and retiring.
Okay, I'm gonna twist it a little bit. Let's cheers DC having a great career. Didn't go out the way he wanted to, but DC had a great career, great run. Can't wait for him to keep announcing.
Not the GOAT.
I agree.
Yeah, so anyways, I think a lot of people were disappointed. A lot of people wanted to see DC win, although DC and Stipe seem to be 2 very likable guys, great guys.
That's the thing is I've always liked Stipe. It's just I like DC a little more. And that's it. I mean, I'm going forward, I'm rooting for Stipe.
Yeah,
it's in the heavyweight division. There's no one else. Well, I do kind of like Francis.
Yeah,
but I mean, because he could be a mega star.
Yeah.
Francis could be a mega star.
And your boy Jon Jones. I mean, you're a big fan of his.
I just hope he loses.
We'll get into that next.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, so the DC Stipe fight. Let's kind of touch base on it. It was a really good fight.
Yep.
It was a really
all
good
5
fight.
rounds.
All 5 rounds. Great fight. I think DC wobbled him first round.
Poked him in the eye first round.
It wasn't bad though. We're not going to talk about eye gouges with what happened in round 3 or 4.
Yeah,
that's what we're not going to do.
Stipe got him back for all the eye pokes that DC gave him.
Bad. It was really bad. I mean,
it was the ugliest eye poke I've ever seen.
I mean, his eye was like going this way.
He had something growing on it. It was weird. I didn't even know what that was.
It was ugly.
Yeah,
it was really ugly.
I felt pretty terribly about that, but it didn't seem to affect his fighting style or his defense as much. I think the fight still would have gone the same way.
I think you're right, except I think if the ref gives him the time, because I believe they get 5 minutes. Imagine if you give DC or Stipe 5 more minutes of rest.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would have been okay with that.
I wish that would have happened.
Yeah.
It
was bad.
It doesn't help DC's eye at all, but cardio-wise, it helps them both.
Yeah.
And I kind of would have rather seen that.
Well, that's what we saw late in the later rounds. DC, he always says that he takes round 3 off.
Round 3 off, yep.
So
and he did.
He did.
He didn't take any damage round 3. Stipe just had him up against the fence the whole time. No damage.
But he didn't come out as strongly in round 4 and 5 like he probably planned on.
Yeah. And I still kind of...
It was back and forth, but...
Yeah, and I disagree with the judges scoring at 49-46.
Yeah,
I disagree with that. One judge had it 48-47, which is what I had. Obviously, Stipe still won, but I did not have it 4-1.
It was closer than 49-46.
Yeah,
sure.
like that doesn't do that fight justice at all.
No.
It was a great fight. That was one of the better, it was just technical. And I tell you what, I think I still think, if you don't look at the numbers and just do the eye test, I think DC landed more like damaging shots. Stipe outlanded him just in general.
Yeah, Stipe may have outstruck him, but significant shots.
Like damaging strikes, I think
Yeah.
DC hit him with more.
Yeah, they had a lot of brutal exchanges. I mean, it was a fun fight to watch.
I tell you what, I don't think there's ever been a better chin than Stipe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a better chin, especially in heavyweight.
Right.
His chin is crazy. I mean, if you can take a punch from Francis and just roll with it, you're a G in my book.
Pretty impressive. Yeah, he's a tough guy.
But it was a great fight,
obviously.
though. It was a great fight. I'm not mad at it. But here's the thing is, I wouldn't even be opposed to seeing those two fight again. I mean, I know it's not going to happen, but I would watch that. I would buy that again. I would buy it again. I mean, I know that's not what they're going to do.
I wouldn't be as excited, but I probably would still buy it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great fight. And all three of their fights were great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
So
was
I'm
a good
down with it.
trilogy.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. The eye gouge kind of tainted it a little bit, but not enough to like where it was super controversial. Like, oh, if that doesn't happen, I'm not gonna say that. I'm a big DC fan.
Did you want to talk about the co-main? I mean, that was kind of disappointing.
Oh wait, was
Sprained his ankle.
yeah,
Forget the guys' names.
Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. I don't want to go into another heartbreaker for me.
Yeah.
That's okay.
We didn't really get to see what we wanted out of that. And then Junior DeSantos got knocked out.
Yeah,
So that was pretty sad.
that was
For me. I mean, it was a good fight, but
Rosenstrike, man, he is
powerful.
to say the least.
Yeah.
Very powerful. Rosenstrike's very powerful. Yeah, like you said, Sugar Sean O'Malley's it's not something I wanted to see. I mean, and especially his streak to end that way. You hate to see
nobody
a streak end.
expected it, They expected him to be knocking the guy out.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't want to see it end that way either, though.
Right.
I mean, that was terrible. For anyone who didn't see, like he was like switching stances, and then like went to like go forward, and like his ankle just completely gave out and just rolled straight over. I mean, like all his weight's on it, and you could tell like as soon as it happened, like he backed up and was like you could tell it was like a gasp, like oh no, like he knew.
Yeah, it was,
and it was a little early stoppage by Herb Dean, but I'm okay with it because you could tell Sean O'Malley was hurt. And Sean O'Malley didn't say that it was stopped early. Like he's not protesting it, so I think that it's okay.
Right.
So I'm not mad at it. I think it was okay.
Yeah.
But like you said, we got a lot to look forward to, don't we?
Yeah, there were a lot of things announced this week. One of them announced by Jon Jones through a tweet. And apparently it was after a conversation he had with Dana White that he has vacated the light heavyweight title.
That's crazy to me. So like I was just telling you before, not to get off of Jon Jones, but just to kind of fill people in for the light heavyweight, they were talking about doing Reyes and then his boy, Jan Blachowicz, for just a fight. That might become the title fight. It might that's not confirmed, that's just speculation. That might become the title fight. Reyes kind of deserves it, but let me tell you who really deserves it that got injured is Santos. Santos deserves a title shot if anybody, because I mean, in my opinion, that's the one he beat Jon Jones, and he had a torn ACL, MCL, PCL all in one fight in the first round.
Yeah, I would love to see Santos and Reyes go at it,
That's
especially
what,
because
yes.
those are two guys that put up a hell of a fight against
Yes, sir.
some arguably that Reyes won.
Yep.
But
wouldn't that be
nice
nice
to
to see
people
those
on
two?
Twitter were saying he's running from Reyes, and I even saw Jon Jones
I saw
block people that were saying it. Like the guy posted a screenshot, which I thought was kind of petty. But,
Reyes can only really get better.
Yeah.
He can really only get better. Jon...
But I mean, he's running... If he's running from Reyes, why would he run to the heavyweight division?
Yeah, no, I agree. He's not running from
Yeah.
Reyes. But, so then that begs the question, what does Jon Jones do at heavyweight now? Because you cannot... To me, I understand it's Jon Jones, but you cannot deny Francis any longer now. Yes, I know Francis lost to Stipe before. This is a completely different Francis.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is different.
I think that Jon Jones needs to have a few fights before he even gets a title question at all.
See, I disagree just in the fact that, like, give him one, give him a good one. And then if he wins
the
it,
good one
boom.
would have to be Francis, I think. I mean, who else would he fight and win
You're right.
to deserve the title?
But here's the thing: if you do that, you could already put in place Stipe Francis, and then have in place Jon versus whoever.
Yeah.
It can't. This is another. It's another. We'll fill in. It can't be Derek Lewis or Curtis Blaydes because both of them just scheduled to fight for November. That's new news as well.
And that'll be a very good fight.
That's a good one. I'm excited for that. I think Derek loses that fight though.
On the ground?
On the ground. I think Derek loses on the ground.
I think it just depends on Derek's cardio and his strength. I mean, Curtis Blaydes is a big and strong guy, but Derek has some size advantages on him.
He does.
Derek is pretty
but he's
good
going to be losing weight.
Staying on top of people when he's on the ground.
Also true.
Yeah.
I can't. But when I read it, I was like, man, November, I don't want to wait. And then I remembered Lewis said he wasn't fighting again until he got down in weight, like 250. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense, but
I'm just glad to see the heavyweight division be entertaining.
Dude, this is probably the most entertaining heavyweight division. I don't want to say of all time, but I mean, goodness gracious, of recent memory.
It took a dip for a little while.
For a while, heavyweight was one of the most, I don't want to say boring because they can still sleep each other, but as far as names go, it was pretty damn boring.
Well, it's just a tease because, Brock Lesnar had come in but he wasn't always there
and he's getting popped for steroids.
Yeah. And, Frank Mir was there, but he was getting older. And, just a lot of the big greats had kind of aged out. And so these other guys were having to come up, and now they're up.
Now, you're right. They're up. They're at the top. And I'm excited. Heavyweight fight. It's a great
time for Jon Jones to move to heavyweight.
You're right. I mean, pretty much anyone like 1 through 8. I might even go 1 through 10. I'm just like, they could win on any given night against anybody. You know what I mean? Like the heavyweight division is stacked now, and I like it. And I'm really intrigued. And I believe Rumble Johnson is coming into heavyweight.
Oh my gosh, that made me so happy when I saw that.
So is he going to heavyweight, or is he going to stick at light heavyweight at 205?
What I read was he would come in at light heavyweight.
So he's not going to heavyweight.
It's what I read, but I am not sure what could happen. You know what I mean?
I saw him wanting to come back. So there's so much news this week. It's crazy. This is just all happening like 2 days, like the past 2 days. Like it's been going nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. But so back to Jon. I mean, who do you give him? Who do you give him? I mean, because
I don't think Jon gets Francis right away. I do disagree with you. I think that he should fight. I liked what Ben Askren said, but obviously this plan is ruined now. But Ben Askren, I think he tweeted that it would be Jon and Lewis first,
which I would have been 100%.
That would be great. Like,
that would be.
What an introduction to the heavyweight division.
And you know what sucks? It's almost like, I don't want to say Jon is avoiding them. I don't want to say it, but it's like as soon as that fight got announced, it's like Jon's like, I'm moving up to heavyweight. Come on, man.
You know what I think? I think that Jon should. Well, it sucks because Junior DeSantos just lost, but that'd
be a good introduction.
It'd be cool if he could fight him first because Junior DeSantos he's a great fighter. He's a respected veteran.
You want to say like gatekeeper, if you will?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And if he can't beat JDS, then it's like
just go back down.
Fight a couple more guys.
Go back down. What do you mean?
I don't think it's fair for him to come in and get Ngannou right away. I think that would sell a lot of tickets, and I think that would be great. But if he only gets one fight before he gets a title fight, it has to be against Ngannou.
It has to. Yeah, 100% has to be. And I tell you what, that might be the most anticipated, most bought heavyweight fight of all time.
Yeah, that's a super fight
for
sure.
Even I think that is bigger. Even if you brought Jon Jones in right now to fight Stipe for the belt, well, I don't know. I don't know, man. That Francis fight, because you got to think Francis is international. He's international, I mean, he's big. Yeah. I believe it's from Cameroon.
And we get to see what Jon can really turn himself into.
Well, did you see he tweeted that he's like, now that I'm not going to be cutting weight and stuff, and I'm going to be able to really, he's like, you're going to see my true genetics show. And I'm like, okay.
As long as he stays away from the drugs, but
I can't argue with him because like his brother led the league in sacks last year in the NFL.
He's a huge guy. What is he? 6'4", like two,
a beast,
205. But He walks
And
around probably 225 normally.
And his arms are long as hell. I mean, they're longer than anybody.
Yeah,
It's
he
crazy.
is already a genetic freak. So just to see him and Francis
And
stand across the octagon from one another, that's scary, man. And Jon's going to fight smart. He's going to use all his
Jon
weapons.
is going to be... But here's the thing. Jon's not going to be able to use his, distance, his length as an advantage.
No, he'll probably...
Not against
probably
Francis.
see... I think in the heavyweight division, you'll see a lot more ground game from Jon. He won't be just using part of his arsenal like he was in the light heavyweight, where he easily could have taken guys down and he just stood with them to prove a point.
Yeah.
I think that him being in heavyweight, you're going to see the best come out of him.
Or the worst.
Or the worst.
Or the worst.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man, him and Francis, I don't know if he can bully Francis down to the ground, though. If that's who... I mean, obviously, this is all speculation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Francis has been working too, man.
I'm sold. That's the fight I want.
That's the fight that I want to see eventually. Yeah.
I want to see it now.
I'd rather see Jon Francis than Jon Stipe right now.
I agree.
To be honest.
I mean, am I mad if they do it? No, because superstars like that or title holders, they kind of get that.
I still think
they get that love.
I still think it's kind of not fair for Jon to just come in and get Ngannou right away. I think he should have to come in and fight.
How do you argue that though? And I'm not a Jon Jones fan, but how do you argue?
He just never had a heavyweight fight.
I agree, but then let's stroll back. Conor was 145 champ. He had never had a 155 fight in the UFC. He got this. He got the title, and he won. And then let's go Cejudo. Cejudo was always 125. Right. Never fought 35. Got shot.
I guess
boom.
In my mind, I'm just putting more weight in the fact
on
that
rankings.
Heavyweight and light heavyweight is
that's a bigger difference.
Disparity.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what. And it's not fair though, because those other divisions are separate divisions as well.
It's just 10 pounds.
But it's from light heavyweight to heavyweight. You're talking.
I mean, you could be talking 60 pounds.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah, I mean, at minimum, what is it? 20 pounds? 225 heavyweight?
No,
or 215?
206 to 265.
Oh, 206.
Yeah, because light heavyweight's 205.
Right. So as soon as you clear 205,
you're a heavyweight. Wow. But like you said, Jon probably does walk around 225, 230, maybe even a little more, maybe. So, I mean, he'd probably fight. I would assume if he'd fight heavyweight, he's going to fight at about 240.
Yeah.
He'll probably fight about 240, maybe 245 on the heavy side, I feel. Which isn't bad, though, because, I mean, that's still a little more. That's 10 more pounds than Stipe, and it's still more weight than DC.
Just picture a solid Jon Jones at 240. Oh, that's a big dude.
I feel like his genetics are different, but I mean, when I saw Gus at heavyweight, I was like, it doesn't look good. Gus didn't look good to me. He added weight, but it was like fat.
Well, that's what
it
I'm
wasn't
saying.
like
what
it wasn't
weight
good.
Jon? Jon might not have enough time before his next fight to add good weight.
I think he'll play it smart. I don't think there's any way he'd like next month Jon Jones is fighting Francis Ngannou or anyone like he's not fighting heavyweight in a month. I think if Jon fights heavyweight, it'll be like at the end of the year, like November, December, maybe even 2021 in like January. Mm-hmm. I don't see it being any earlier than November. No way. November at the very earliest.
This November?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see it being any earlier.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really excited though. I'm just really happy that this is all happening because, I've
been like the biggest ambassador of that for a long time. I mean, it's been years. I've been like, go up to heavyweight. This would really cement his legacy. As much as I don't want that to happen.
It would be a cool gatekeeper. Now that DC has, he's not the GOAT because he's lost to Stipe too many times. Maybe he would consider one more fight at heavyweight against Jon.
I don't think so.
I don't think he would, but how cool would that be? It's like, okay, Jon, let's just go ahead and do this thing. Let's see if you can handle heavyweight.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah. I
don't want to see it personally, just because DC, as much of a great fighter as he is, that's the one person I think that you can put those two in the octagon 10 times, and I think Jon wins 10 times. Not because Jon is just that much better than DC, but I think DC's emotions with Jon really gets to him. Because It's crazy to say like DC really. You can tell he's a good guy. He likes just about everybody, but it's just Jon he hates, and I think that gets in the way. And I don't think he can't fight his fight against Jon.
Right.
He can't do it.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
So that's why I don't want to see that. I think DC's done. Sadly.
What's the time limit there?
22.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I'm excited for that Derek Lewis and Curtis Blaydes fight.
Yeah, me too. I mean, Curtis Blaydes
excited.
is just
Up and coming.
Really good fighter.
And
if who
Curtis,
did he lose to? Because he was
Francis.
on a win streak.
He lost.
That's who he lost. He's
lost to Francis twice, I believe. Like, but it's Francis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So I think if Curtis wins this against Lewis, he's next in line for the title shot after Francis / Jon. It kind of sucks for him that Jon's moving up now.
Yeah.
That's a sticky situation. Heavyweight, I mean, it's a good problem to have if you're the UFC, but it's a terrible problem to have if you're one of the fighters that's not named Jon Jones right now.
Because
to
who's
me,
been fighting heavyweight for how long?
Never.
Right, yeah.
So Jon, in my opinion, kind of holds the key to all this. Jon almost like dictates all this, which is shitty, but it is what it is.
It's interesting that they had him vacate the light heavyweight title.
They didn't do it. He did it.
But it seemed like the way he communicated in the tweet, it was a mutual decision between him and Dana.
So you know what I think that means?
He wasn't going to get the money he wanted, and so he decided it? Or
I think that means Jon, just like I said, is going to wait to fight at heavyweight. He's going to bulk up, so he couldn't fight at light heavyweight. And I think that's what it is. Makes sense, right? I mean, if he's going to bulk up and he can't fight for another 5-6 months, and that's going to be heavyweight, so then the last time he fought was like, I mean, shit, when he fought last, there was fans in the stadium, so it's been over 6 months, so you wouldn't have had the champion fight for over a year at that point.
Yeah.
By the time he fights at heavyweight and will be able to defend that, so yeah, it makes sense.
And he doesn't have he doesn't really have another light heavyweight fight that's going to sell a lot of tickets.
Well,
No,
you're right.
Would, but
I don't know if that would sell a lot of tickets though.
I don't know. People wanted to see it again, I'm sure.
I think you're
but not,
real fans,
not like a heavyweight, like
like a Francis or a Stipe or
no comparison.
Yeah, I agreed. I can agree with that. So I don't. Yeah, I mean, I think it sucks at that 205, but I mean, I guess you do that the Yan versus Reyes for the belt, and then Santos whenever he's healthy, you got to throw him a bone in there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know the situation of his knee. I mean, that sucks. I mean, he tore literally everything in his knee. So I don't know. I don't know his recovery time on that.
Yeah. So and I mean, it does make the light heavyweight division more exciting because now there's more competition there.
It's about
people
time.
Feel like they're not just going to like fight their way to the top to get kicked back down by King of the Hill, you know?
Yeah. And this might be time for Johnny Walker to start getting up there.
Yeah. How's he doing? Is he all...
He lost that one fight. It was. It might have been his.
Right. I forgot
he got knocked
that.
out.
Yeah.
I forget who it was now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he lost his last fight. He hasn't fought since that loss. He got knocked out. It's about time for him to fight again, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while now.
Yeah, he's an exciting guy.
I love
to watch.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, speaking of that, we gotta get some Johnny Walker whiskey, don't we?
Oh, Scotch, but yeah.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Well, it's whiskey. You know, whiskey, Scotch, whatever.
Yeah.
But
we gotta get some of that.
Yeah, we will.
I kind of like this.
You like it, the Elijah Craig?
Yeah, I for that amount of money, I don't think I go that direction. Don't get me wrong; it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, I'll drink that all day long.
What do you think? But this compared to Maker's Woodford.
So, do you know the price of Maker's?
Basil Hayden's we had last week. Yeah, it's up there.
Do you know the price of Maker's?
It's similar. It's a little bit more than that.
Is it like 35 probably?
I think a smaller bottle is closer to 35, 40.
I'd probably go with the Maker's over that, and then
Basil Hayden's is about the same.
I think Basil's about the same. I don't know. I think I like the Basil a little bit. I think I like the Basil better.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, I'm not shitting on it by any means.
Mm-hmm.
I like it though.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's other whiskeys I put in front of it.
Right.
I don't like. I like after drinking this, I'm not going to go to the store like right now and go and buy this.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like
I
I'm
see
not.
what you're saying.
Yeah, but
It's too similar to a lot of other, bourbons or whiskeys.
right.
You know?
But it's still really good. Like it's smooth. You know what I mean? Like I can drink this straight all day long,
Yeah.
and it's good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not a harsh taste at all.
Right.
And I like it. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of that. But like I said, like I would still go Makers over that. I know Woodford's a little bit more than that as well, but I would go Woodford. Man,
And the Bullet. Yeah,
the Bullet, I'd go Bullet over it. And I tell you what, we haven't had on here.
Rise.
We haven't had the Rise, which somebody just talked to me about that, and I can't remember who it was. They said, "Hey, have you had this one rye whiskey?" I was like, "No, I haven't." And I was like, "But we were about to do a rye episode here soon, and I remember who now it was. It was a buddy at work,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll have to ask him what it was again." But I tell you what, we haven't had on here. It's just regular Crown Royal.
Mm-mm.
We haven't had regular Crown.
Nope.
I think we need to get that.
I also don't think we've had regular Jim or regular Jack
Or Evan.
regular Evan. Yeah, we haven't had a lot of those, mainstream
Yeah.
whiskeys. Might as well bring them on, compare them.
Man, we have to do that.
Yeah.
Especially like a Jack and Jim and like an Evan. I feel like those
Yeah.
three are always like.
I might keep some like Coke with me or something to chase it with. But
Yeah, we got to do that.
yeah,
We haven't had
yeah.
any of the regular ones on. You're right.
And,
And then same with
those
Crown, yeah.
Jacks and Jims, they have single barrels and they have a little more expensive bottles.
I
as
don't want
well.
to do a single barrel. I mean, if I do a single barrel, here's the thing. Like, I can drink like one glass of that, and then I'm going to have to start mixing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to have to start mixing.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I know there's some other. What's another fight that? Well, we didn't really. I mean, we touched on Rumble coming back. I think that's huge. He never fought Jon Jones.
Yeah, that's
I'm
pretty
just
weird.
throwing it out there.
I'd love to see him go heavyweight. I don't know that he will, but
I think, to me, that would be a smarter decision because, I mean, he's like 37 years old. Why are you cutting weight? I know you're not walking around at no 210, 215. Like, just to be able to cut 5-10 pounds at 205. Like, come on, man.
right.
I don't know. Something interesting. I know Ortega is back. That's the one I wanted to talk about. Brian Ortega is finally back after taking the whooping of a lifetime to Max Holloway. I don't think I've ever seen anyone get beat up that bad. Like, it was kind of like bad. Like, I was like starting to be like, yikes. 29.
Ooh.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
It's like I was saying. Ortega is back against Korean Zombie. This fight here, ooh boy, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this one. This one wasn't until, I can't remember. I think it was October. So I still got a little bit, but I tell you what, I'm excited for this. Like, this is so good to me. You can make it a pay-per-view, and if that's the main event, I'm paying $65 just to see those two, just because I want to see Ortega versus Korean Zombie that bad.
Yeah.
I love Ortega. I'm glad to see him back. So that's a big one that's a big one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be really excited to see that as well.
Other than that, did we have anything else? Did we have anything else?
Just kind of like a lot of hot button things that popped up.
There's just so much stuff. We are probably forgetting something.
But a lot of stuff we can't really do too much of a deep dive on because it's all so new.
It's also speculation.
Right.
I mean, like the whole John thing, the Rumble thing is still I know what we didn't talk about, and I didn't even mention this, but you know about it. About Paige VanZant.
Oh. She's gone, right?
And she signed with Bare Knuckle.
Bare Knuckle, yeah. That was a little
weird,
bit of
right?
a surprise.
They must have threw the bag at her. They had to throw the bag at her. I mean,
it's probably the worst decision she could have made for her career, you know? With her modeling and everything, or
yeah,
social media.
No,
modeling
you're right.
is-
You're right, especially with that. But That I'm dumbfounded by that. I thought for sure she was done and going to Bellator.
Yeah.
I was completely wrong on that. You know what? I'm completely fine admitting when I'm wrong, but I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah, no, me neither.
But like I said, they must have really threw the bag at her.
Oh,
I know their owners are like very, very, very rich though. Like they're just like they throw money at people.
Yeah.
They don't care.
And especially times like these, you're trying to find talent.
But that to me isn't like that's not a grab. Like I'm not going to go watch bare knuckle fights now because of Paige VanZant. Like I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm a big Paige VanZant fan. I'm a big fighting fan, but it's not like that doesn't move the needle for me. You know what I mean? If they would have got like, I'm trying to think of somebody that might move the needle for me. I don't know. Paige VanZant doesn't move the needle for me, but I mean, like, congrats.
I've never even watched a bare knuckle fight.
I tell you what.
I know that they're ugly.
Rogan was all for it until he actually saw it.
Right.
Until he saw it, then he was like, no.
How much the knuckles and the skin would cut the face.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he didn't realize. He thought it would be safer than gloves because the gloves help you punch harder, but
it's more like you get more scraped up.
Yeah.
And then as you're getting scraped up, if you get hit there again, what's it going to do? It gets bigger.
Cuts you. Yeah.
More and more.
Yeah.
So and so Rogan's even against it now, and Rogan's pretty hardcore, and like I said, he was on that wave, like that's what he wanted,
right?
And he changed his mind on it. So
Yeah.
like I said, I've watched a couple, nothing like too crazy, but I'm not really a fan of it.
Yeah,
I'm not really a fan of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to watch it, but I don't know. I get the UFC has so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
I peek at Bellator here and there. I peek at PFL, you know, bare knuckle, but I just doesn't catch my attention enough,
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
And like like I said, I might do a little more than a peek at Bellator. Like if there's somebody I really like MVP, Michael Venom Page, which I know some of y'all know.
A lot of talent comes to UFC
from Bellator, or they try to like steal the older guys over there to Bellator. I'm not really big on Bellator, and I it is what it is. I like UFC a lot. And, it's the mainstream cool thing, but it's just that's where all the best talent is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you want to watch the best.
Like, what do I want to watch? NFL or XFL?
Right.
NFL. You know what I mean?
Although the XFL, The Rock is part owner, and now they also have the first female owner. Did you see that?
Yeah. So, why don't we dive into this a little bit?
That's a cheers.
Because, cheers to that. And you know what? The Rock might do great things with that. Might. I think before.
Have you seen the show Ballers on HBO?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The Rock's a genius. The Rock is a genius. And you know what? He's also into the UFC as well because, he announced the BMF title.
He's partnering with investors. That guy is just a superstar.
A genius.
Like a ridiculous superstar that anything he touches kind of turns to gold recently. Gold.
Gold.
And it's just like, why not at this point?
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that happens? You lose some millions of dollars? Oh, well, guess what? You still have hundreds of millions of dollars ready to go in the bank and ready to do whatever.
Right, and he's partnered with investors who are smart guys, and so he doesn't have to do all the work.
But that's the thing is the XFL, before they ended up shutting it down at the end of this last one, they were doing really good.
Yeah.
They were doing really good. And I tell you what, I was enjoying it.
Well, it's cool because they don't intersect with the NFL season. And I think that's
big.
Smart, because then you can get football all the time. You're not competing.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm watching it, and not only I'm invested because there's a lot of guys like from WVU that didn't make the NFL that I'm like, and I'm like glued to the TV, like, oh my God,
it provides opportunities because there's a lot more talent out there that should be showcased.
Yep.
If anything, it's like the NBA having what do they call it, the G League?
The G League, yeah.
Yeah.
It's more entertaining than the G League, though.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not get disrespectful.
But I mean, that's.
But I get what you're saying. It's like
the G League has been around.
It's a feeder. It's a feeder system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it could be a career that, you might not make millions, but, at least you can make a living playing football.
Enough for that period of time. I mean, like I said, that right there. The XFL is not a career, though. That's not a career, as we would go. That's an opportunity.
Yeah.
XFL is an opportunity. But with The Rock, you never know. It might turn into a career. But as of right now, on today, August 18th or 19th, whatever day it is, it's an opportunity.
Right.
It's not a career.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for guys to just have the opportunity to play, and I think they should, because
Yeah.
so many guys play football ever since they're elementary school age,
Yeah.
and move all the way up, and
In the college,
they might
and
not
then-
make it to the NFL, but
Yep.
they should have other places that they can go without going overseas or something.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all I got.
Yeah, I think that's all I got too. I mean, what an exciting week, and what a lot we have to look forward to.
We got a lot to look forward to. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm very excited.
Yeah. So, hey, thank you guys for watching. Thank you again for liking and sharing and subscribing. We seem to just grow a little more every week.
Yep.
We're at 55 subscribers, and to be honest with you, that's great for us. And so we only hope to grow more and do more and make this better. So, and in order for us to make that better, we need your help. So please like, share, and subscribe. Don't be afraid to share and tell your friends about it. And we love to meet and talk with you guys and bring you on if you want to. So,
yep. And if you're from West Virginia, drink local.
Drink local. Okay.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, I was tired.
I'm getting tired during it.
I was just had a long day at work, and